Hello everyone, welcome to Education Lecture. In this video, I am going to teach you the third poem, that is On Children, written by Kahlil Gibran. I had told you in my previous videos that they would not ask any questions regarding poet, author or the narrator. It is just for your information they have given. If you are new to my channel, please subscribe my channel to get further updates. So I will be reading out the poem once and I will be telling you the meaning of the unknown words. After reading out the poem, I will be telling you the summary of the poem. So let's get started. And a woman who held a baby against a bosom said, bosom is chest, said, speak to us of children. Woman here is a singular word. WOMEN is a plural word. You may make mistakes in a hurry while writing in exam, so be careful with it. And he said, he refers to the prophet. They have given in the poet's corner. The prophet is the best known work of him, so they call him the prophet here in this poem. So he refers to the prophet. Said, your children are not your children. They are the sons and daughters of life's longing for itself. They refer to children. Make note of it. They come through you. You refers to parents, but not from you. And though they are with you, yet they belong not to you. You may give them your love, but not your thoughts. For they have their own thoughts. You may house. Houses protect or give shelter to their bodies, but not their souls. For their souls live in the house of tomorrow, which you cannot visit, not even in your dreams. You, make note of this also, you refers to parents, they refer to children. You, parents, may strive to be like them, but seek not to make them like you, for life goes not backward, not tarries with yesterday. Tarries refers to link around with yesterday. So these last 4 lines are very important. They may ask you questions regarding this, and these lines are metaphors. So you, again they have given, you refers to parents. You are the bows from which your children are living arrows are sent forth. The archer refers to God over here, sees the mark upon the path of the infinite. Infinite is a limitless space, and he refers to God, bends you with his might, and his also refers to God. Arrows may go swift and far. Swift is quickly. Let your bending in the archer's hand be for gladness. For even as he loves the arrow that flies, so he loves also the bow that is stable. Stable is strong. So make a note of it in your textbooks. Archer refers to God over here. Bow refers to parents. Living arrows refers to children. And make another note that if capital letter he, his comes in between the sentence, means it refers to God. They have given in the last 4 lines here. He. The starting letter is capital H. Here also capital H they are given. Here also they have given capital H. So these caps letters, that is he, his, archer, refers to God in this poem. Don't get confused. Here also they are given, but this is a small h. This he refers to the prophet. Don't get confused. So that's all the poem is. The poem ends over here. They have given backside the summary of the poem. House refers to shelter, protect, tarry, linger, stay at one place. Archer, one who uses bow and arrow. Here in this poem it refers to God. And I will be telling you the summary now. If you want to write in your books can write, or just study and write on your own. I had told you in my previous video, if you know the story only, it's enough to write your big answers. If they ask this summary, you can write this only. I have covered all the points in this. Let's start. The poem On Children is written by Khalil Gibran. You can write for any poems. If they ask write a summary on Romeo and Juliet, so you can write the poem Romeo and Juliet is written by William Shakespeare. It is not necessary that you have to write their names and start. It's just information so that your paper who is going to be corrected, your teacher may think, oh, he knows well this poem, he has studied well the poem. They may think. If you are not getting the poet's name, you are not remembering it, don't worry, just write the poem's name, that's more than enough. For just your information, I am telling you this, how to get more marks in your exams. The small things also, you will get marks here and there. Okay, the poem On Children is written by Khalil Gibran. The prophet tells, I told you right, the poet tells us about children. Don't write the poet, you have to write the prophet only. Tells us about children. Why he tells us about children is that a woman asks him, right, who held a baby against her chest. She asks the prophet that speak to us of children. She is asking him, tell us about children. So the prophet starts. He says, the prophet tells us about children. Parents are the medium through which children are born. So here they have given your children are not your children. So it doesn't mean that we are not the children of our parents. We are the children, but they are the medium through which we are. From them only we are born in this world. So parents are the medium through which children are born. Children's are life's longing for itself. So they have given here, they are the sons and daughters of life longing for itself. So every child will have its own dreams in future, what it has to become. So it has his own life. His way of imagination will be different from the parents' vision. So children's are life's longing for itself. Parents are not creators of children. So they tell, they come through you, but not from you. And though they are with you, yet they belong not to you. It doesn't mean that we don't belong to our parents. We do belong to our parents, but we have our own destination, our own dreams that we want to become in our life. That our parents, parents cannot come and interrupt that. No, you have to become whatever I tell. Children will have their own dreams. So that only they are saying. Parents are not creators of children. Parents are not the creators of their dreams. You have to become this. Whatever I say, you have to do that only. They are forcing them to do whatever they want. Not like that. Parents can give their love and shelter to their bodies, but not their thoughts and souls. Parents may give their love, their shelter to their bodies, but not their thoughts, because children's thoughts will be very different from the parents' thoughts. Parents' thoughts may be very different from the children's point of view. Child may be aiming to become a doctor in his future, but parents may be against him. No, we have to become some other else, like an engineer or an artist, musician, like that. Or it may be just opposite of it, anything. They may be against their children. So they are not the ones who are deciding the children's future. And they can't shelter to their bodies but not their souls. They can't just lock up our souls and say, no, you have to not keep any dreams in yourself. Whatever we say, you have to do that, like commanding. No, child has their own thoughts and dreams. Just to make you understand easily, So I am telling you this. You can just write thoughts and souls also. It's okay, fine. Parents are not the owners of their children. Parents are not our owners, that whatever the owner says, the assistant one listens to it. Not like that. They are the caretakers of the children. Parents do care for us, right? They care for our future, they care for everything what we do. So they are the caretakers of the children. God is the one who created us. For everything, God is the first person who created us, created human beings, created our parents, then us. So, parents are referred to as bows and children are referred to as living arrows. Here you can see, right, last four poems I had told you. Sorry, last four lines in the poem I had told you. So, here in this poem it refers to parents are referred to as bow and children are referred to as living arrow. The archer is God over here, makes the mark so that the arrow goes swift and far. So you can see an archer who will be aiming for the point to go. He will bend the bow and the living arrow as much as possible so that the arrow may go swift far to its point, to its destination. So here the bow should be stable when the archer bends it. God likes both the bow which is stable and the arrows that flies far to its destination. So God is the one who created us. God knows in future what we people will become. So he is the one who will tell what we are going to be through the medium of our parents. So here God is the archer who is holding the bow. Bow is the parents and arrows are the children. So without the help of bow, the arrow cannot go far, and without the arrow, the bow cannot be stable, and without both of this, an archer cannot aim at all. So God likes both the bow and the arrow, and with all his might or with all his strength, he sees to that the parent, the bow is stable so that when the arrow is let, it goes swift far to its destination. There is a limitless space. So you may be noticing that our parents will be telling your future, whatever we say, you have to become that. That time only your future will be good. That is for our goodness only they tell us. Some of them would not listen to that and may go in a bad route. But those who are listens to parent, I know whoever is watching this video may sure be listening whatever their parents may be telling to them, so that their parents will always think for our good only. They will think that our future, our children's future should be good. For that only they will work hard until we settle in our lives. So that is only here they are given as the bow, the arrow and the archer. And at last, God likes both the bow and the arrow that flies far to his destination. Once we are settled in our life, that is, the children are settled in our life, parents will be feel relieved. Yes, our child has reached its destination and no more we have to help him. He has his own dreams to be continued. Just to make it oversimplifying, I'm telling you can write this. If you want to simplify and write in your own words, also you can write. Now I'll be telling the 1 mark questions which are often repeated in this poem. I hope you can see. Yeah. Yes. There are many questions. If I dictate, it will just extend the video. I'll show you. If you want to read from the video, you can read, or just take a note of it in your books. Everything is simple question. As I told in the previous videos, 1 mark question also, sometimes in a hurry we may miss out marks, we may lose marks. So that should not be your intention, that because of that 1 mark I lose. Means if you had got for 199 in your exams, for 1 or 2 marks wherever you lost a 98 and 97, meaning 1 mark, that one word answer I had forgotten. It should not be your intention, right? So only just to help you, I am showing all these questions which are repeated in your exams. If you have any doubts, if you didn't understand this poem, you can comment in the comment box. And if you have any problem with my teaching also, you can comment, so that it will encourage me to do further videos, and even I will know what mistakes I am doing in the video. So next page. I stapled all the lessons. Every lessons I have 1 mark questions. Yeah, just to again remind you, it is very important. I have written here again, if capital letter he, his comes in between the sentence, means it is God. I hope you all can see. And as I had told in my previous videos, if you once know the story of any lesson, any poem, whether whatever subject it is very easy to write your big answers. More than that, if you understand, it is more than enough to write your big answers. So these are some of the big answer questions I'm showing. If you have understood this video, understood the poem, sorry, make sure you can answer all these questions. So I am trying to help you from all my side, to all my best I am showing. So thanks for watching. Like, share and comment and subscribe to my channel to get further more videos. Thank you.